Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. I'm kicking off a weekend in my life type vlog. It is currently Friday morning and I'm heading over to Creative Mornings in DC, which is like, I guess you could call it a creative organization. I don't know how they officially organize themselves or categorize themselves, but if you work in any creative adjacent industry in DC, I couldn't recommend it enough. It's just like a monthly speaker series that's hosted in a variety of venues around DC, and they have coffee in the mornings, and it's everybody in graphic design to photography, videography, like website coders and stuff like that. And it's just always such a refreshing experience. And I really look forward to it. So I'm really excited about that. I'm heading to my office to pick up the rest of my team, and then we're gonna head over there. Usually we get like some sort of a treat or coffee after, which I don't know if there's anything super nearby the venue, but I guess we'll figure it out. But regardless, I wanted to kick off this weekend at my life vlog.
These are just my thoughts as they are to support in this way. And so I'm really grateful actually to have had that
Really quick, I wanted to say a massive thank you to Flamingo for partnering with me on this week's video. You guys know I worked with them a couple years back on my channel and have been obsessed ever since. Most of the time I feel like I mention their razor and shaving cream combo, but I feel like their most underrated product is actually this daily moisturizing lotion. I begged them to throw some of this in the package when they sent over their new hair removal cream, because I cannot find this anywhere near me. It's always sold out because everybody loves it. It's like the best, most luxurious drugstore lotion that I've found. But Flamingo just released their body hair removal cream, so you can imagine how excited I was, because I feel like this is lotion adjacent almost. I'm gonna overlay some B-roll clips here, but I purposely grew out my leg hair for the past 7-8 days or so that you can actually see how the product performs. I use the spatula for a touch-free application and then leave it on anywhere between 5 and 10 minutes. I found 8 minutes is usually my sweet spot, and then I just remove the cream with the spatula and rinse my legs quickly with some warm water. I have super sensitive skin and I've had 0 issues with this. I've tested it a little bit on my arms, just because I don't really shave my arms. I was just curious if I would have any reaction. That was where I did my initial test spot and was totally fine. I've tried it on my bikini line and my legs, and again, have had 0 negative reactions. It also doesn't have that really harsh smell that a lot of hair removal creams have. The Flamingo body hair removal cream, it keeps your legs, arms, stomach, and bikini line smooth for up to 7 days and underarms for 6. I'm gonna leave this linked down below in case any of you wanna try it out. I'm not sure if I'll have a coupon code, but if I do, I will leave that in the description as well. Huge thank you again to Flamingo for partnering with me on this channel. They're one of my favorite brands to work with. I really love Flamingo and their mission to create inclusive body care for anybody that wants to remove their hair or not. I feel like it's such a personal decision that there just isn't a one-size-fits-all method, and I feel like their range of products is just perfect for that. So again, I'll have everything linked down below, and let's get back to the vlog. Super busy day, as you guys saw. I just got home from the gym and jumped in the shower because I was super sweaty and disgusting just from everything today. Actually, not even the workout class. I definitely was sweating in that, but the sweat that grossed me out today was just from walking around and going to work. But it's a little bit before 8 p.m. and I'm gonna make myself dinner. I'm having a very chill, self-care oriented night. staying in, which is really hard for me to do on the weekends, to be honest. I feel like because I'm so extroverted, I just get really, really down if I'm by myself on the weekends most of the time, but I'm kind of craving a night in, so we're just rolling with it. But this is really abnormal behavior for me. Normally on the weekends, I will like bounce around from plan to plan to plan, from person to person to person, just because I love maximizing my weekends to spend as much time with my friends as possible. So in rare form, like I said, but I think I'm gonna take this opportunity to make myself dinner and get caught up on some YouTube stuff and TikTok stuff and just a bunch of stuff I've been putting off. I'm wondering if my motivation's gonna eventually crash, just because I did have not a full work day. I left work at like 2 or 3. It was closer to 3, which is pretty normal for me at my office if you guys have been watching these vlogs for a while. So I had a pretty full work day, and earlier this week it was super busy at work. Point of that being, I just don't know if I'm gonna hit that wall eventually, but for the time being, I think I'm gonna use the motivation while I have it to make dinner and attempt to do a mini meal prep. By that, I just mean make 2 portions, but more often than not, when I do that, especially after I work out, I end up eating both. So maybe I'll just make like the equivalent of 3 portions, knowing that I'm a little bit extra hungry right now, but that's the plan. It's not even 10 p.m. and I am fully in bed ready to go to sleep. I did end up hitting that wall that I thought I was gonna hit after dinner, and then didn't edit a single thing that was on my to-do list. But I was craving a dessert and I walked to CVS to get it instead of go puffing, which is kind of my default. And you know what? I'm not gonna say that that was a full win, but honestly it kind of was, because I saved, well, obviously I spent money on the cookie dough, but my delusional brain is like, wow, you saved probably 20 bucks because of all of the stupid fees and tip and, you know, all that stuff. So it felt like I was saving money even though I was actually spending money, you know what I mean? And you know, my to-do list will be there tomorrow. I think some of my plans tomorrow got canceled, so that's just more time to do the to-do list that I didn't do tonight. And I have a 7:30 workout class in the morning, which I might come to regret because that feels really early right now. Especially when I think about the fact that that's only like 9 hours away. So at most I can get 8 hours of sleep if I fell asleep this exact moment. You know what I mean? I'm not sure if that math was right, but don't double check it. Like, just, you know what I'm saying, you know? So I think with that, we're gonna wrap it up here and I'll pick back up the vlog in the morning. We've had a couple of turn of events this morning. Essentially none. I don't know why I said that. I woke up this morning, went to the gym, which felt good. I have been testing out ClassPass the past couple of weeks because since moving, just haven't been able to commit to a gym, and I like solid core, but one, it really depends on the instructor for me, and two, it's so much more expensive. Like, I already thought Orange Theory was expensive, and I think that was $230 or $240 a month. And I want to say the equivalent of the package that I had at Orange Theory at Solid Core is like $330 a month, and I just, it probably would be worth it for me. I just can't get myself to commit to that. So I've been testing out ClassPass and just seeing whatever studio has the cheapest class at the time and an instructor that I somewhat like. I'll just go to that one. So I usually end up going to the 14th and U, Admo, West End, or Shaw locations, and I think of those four, I've had the best luck with instructors at Admo. So if you tried it and you didn't like it, and you didn't like it because you thought the instructor was just really bitchy, maybe give it one more shot if you're open to it. I also really do think you save a decent amount of money with ClassPass, so I'll have my invite code down below. Not sponsored, deeply wish it was, but I assume if you sign up with my code, we both get a certain amount of credits free, so I'll leave that down below. But it's like $115 right now if I had to guess. My friend Elena and I decided this morning to buy tickets to the 2 p.m. showing of Aladdin at the National Theater, which I'm super excited about. Originally, we were thinking of just hitting up bars or day drinking today, and then a decent amount of our friends ended up being out of town. I didn't really want to drink today, maybe like one after the show, but I didn't want to drink all day. I must have seen some ad in the last couple of days that told me it was in town, but I looked up tickets and I found two that were not cheap, but not insanely overpriced. Like, we would have spent the same money drinking, to be honest. So she was super down for it, and we're about to head there now. And then I was thinking after, I might run over to the Saks off 5th and the Nordstrom Rack right there at like 12th and F, because it's at National Theater. I can't remember if I said that. And I really need a new leather jacket. Actually, the story doesn't matter. I just need a new one. But I figured I'd do a really quick outfit of the day before I head out. Tried to look up if there's a dress code, and I couldn't find anything on their website. So I figured I'd just go a little bit nicer than what I usually wear. But I have this cropped little sweater on from Princess Polly, this Reformation dupe dress from TJ Maxx. It definitely looks, it's showing more in camera, but it's noticeable in real life too. This kind of like ruching here from the ruffle. I feel like I just need to like hunch over a little bit more maybe so it doesn't show as much. And then I can't decide if I want to tuck these in fully or have them sticking out. I think I actually kind of like them sticking out, but I'm gonna get Elena's opinion as like a second opinion in person. Also, I can hear that I'm super breathy in this clip, and the air quality is so bad in DC right now, combined with my allergies and pollen. It's just, breathing is a no-go right now. But this dress is like a midi. It's a little bit longer than a midi on me because I'm 5'3", and then I just have on my Air Force Ones. So a pretty casual outfit. I figured this would be good if we end up walking around after, but yeah. Hi, could I please get a medium cold brew with 2 pumps of the sweet vanilla and 2 of the blueberry shots? Yes.
Okay, it's gonna be 428.
Thank you. Thank you.
Have a great day.
You too. Okay. Let's pull over for a sec. A quick sickety sec. Who says sickety sec? Okay, it is Sunday morning. I don't think I've vlogged since before Aladdin yesterday maybe, but that was spectacular. Couldn't recommend that enough. It's definitely more expensive because it's, I don't know if it's off Broadway or like, I don't know what the technical term is if something, it's a Broadway production, but it's not in New York, so I think that's off Broadway, but maybe that's a whole separate company. I don't know. Don't come for me. I'm not a musical theater kid. But that was really, really good. And then we ended up going to dinner with some friends at Ruthie's All Day in Arlington, which was super yummy. If you haven't been there yet, I really recommend it. There's a weird shadow on my chin here. I can't tell if it's makeup. It's not. It's just like, there's not even much lighting right now because it's so cloudy outside, and it's really distracting, and I can't finish this clip. So I'm just gonna like close my eyes and ignore it. After dinner, I just drove home and went to bed. And then this morning I woke up and tried a Rumble class, which I liked. I didn't love. I like boxing workouts, but I don't know if I like the format of Rumble. Since it was my first class too, I don't know if this is true, but it seemed to be this way. You switch between the floor and the boxing bags, and I couldn't tell if there was one person assigned to each number. Like if today I was number 5 on the floor to start, and then I went to 5 on the bag and then back to 5 on the floor. But do they double up so that when I was at the bag, somebody was in my spot on the floor? I couldn't tell because of the pillars in the class. But if that's the case, that really grosses me out. Like the concept of sitting on a bench that somebody has just worked out on is like an absolute hard stop for me without wiping it down. And again, I couldn't tell because of my position, and I didn't want to like interrupt the class to ask, because also like what am I going to do at that point? Like I'm already there, I've already committed. So I need to look more into that, or like ask some of my friends that have been to that studio in DC, or if any of you have been to the one in DuPont, let me know, because that I find really, really gross. Like just wipe it down in between switching, or like do all of the floor work, wipe it down, and then do all of the bag work, or vice versa. Maybe I wouldn't be as grossed out by that if I didn't have like a 1.5 years of Orange Theory in my system, of like you just constantly are wiping things down, even if you're doing a tornado day where it's like you're switching between all 3 stations every 2-3 minutes, like you still wipe it down for the next person. But anyway, I'm glad that I tried it. Again, that was through ClassPass, so it was pretty cheap. I want to say it ended up being like $10 or $11 for my first class with my credits, so feeling good about that. And then I drove out to the suburbs to have lunch with my mom. Something about being in the suburbs, specifically my hometown too, I feel like I just itch to go through a Dunkin' drive-thru. Like I can't suppress the desire for it. So I'm here now. I'm gonna spend the next couple hours at home, and then I'll head back to DC tonight because I have a few things that I want to knock out before the work week starts. But that is the quick catch up.